The night was heavy with silence. Olivia sat alone by the small window of her home, staring out at the distant fields. Her eyes were red, her hands cold. She had lost everything, yet the echoes of her past still clung to her. But this wasn't where her story began. Olivia was just 21 when she married Joseph. He was kind, gentle, the sort of man every girl dreamed of. On their wedding day, he had whispered to her, "No matter what happens, I'll always stand by you." Life felt beautiful. Their little house was filled with laughter, simple joys, and late-night talks about the future. They dreamed of a family, children who would run barefoot across their courtyard, their giggles filling the air. But years passed, and the courtyard stayed quiet. At first, no one noticed. It takes time, the elders would say. But as months turned into years, whispers began to creep in. Maybe Olivia can't have children. Olivia heard the words, though no one spoke them to her face. She saw the way the neighbors glanced at her belly, always flat, always empty. Inside, she carried a storm of shame and guilt. Each passing month was like a cruel reminder of something missing, something she couldn't give. Joseph tried to comfort her. "Don't listen to them," he would say. "We have each other. That's enough." And for a while, she believed him. But families are not always forgiving. Joseph's parents, who once adored Olivia, began to show their disappointment. "Joseph, the lineage must continue," his father said one night. His mother added sharply, "A home without children is like a lamp without oil. Think of the family name." Joseph resisted. He argued. He defended Olivia. But the pressure only grew. Then came the villagers' gossip. It followed him wherever he went. A barren wife is a curse. Joseph should remarry. Every word felt like a knife.
Joseph wasn't ready for this. Not in his heart, not in his soul. He loved Olivia, but the constant whispers, the heavy eyes of his parents, and the endless questions wore him down. And then came that evening. The house was quiet, the air thick. Joseph's chest tightened as he sat across from Olivia. His hands trembled, his breath shallow. He didn't want to say it, but the words had been pushed into his mouth by everyone around him. Finally, with a voice that cracked under its own weight, he whispered, "Olivia, maybe we should divorce." The silence that followed was unbearable. Olivia's eyes widened. For a second, she thought she had misheard. Divorce? From Joseph? From the man who once swore he'd fight the world for me? Her lips trembled. "What? What are you saying?" she whispered. Joseph looked away, tears rolling down his eyes. He wanted to tell her it wasn't his choice, that it was the world crushing him. But the words refused to come. All he managed was, "Maybe it's for the best." And just like that, their world shattered. The divorce was swift. Joseph's family made sure of it. Olivia left the house with only a small bag of clothes and a heart full of scars. As she stepped out, she glanced back one last time. The home she had once filled with love now felt like a stranger's place. She wanted to scream, "It wasn't my fault," but her voice failed her. Instead, she walked into the night, carrying her broken fate. Months later, news spread through the village. Joseph had remarried. His new wife, young and healthy, soon became pregnant. The villagers said, "See, the problem was Olivia all along." Joseph's parents rejoiced, proud that their lineage would continue. Olivia heard the news like a dagger to the chest. Each word of gossip was salt on her wounds.
But fate had one more truth to reveal. One evening, while Olivia was visiting the town clinic where she worked as an assistant, a doctor she knew pulled her aside. "Olivia, I looked over your old reports," the doctor said softly. "You were never infertile. Your tests were normal. If there was an issue, it wasn't with you." Olivia froze, her breath caught. The room spun around her. Not her, then Joseph? The truth struck like lightning. All those years she had carried the blame, endured the humiliation, cried herself to sleep, and it was never her fault. That night, Olivia walked home under the weight of 1,000 emotions: anger, sorrow, and betrayal. Her fate had been robbed from her, robbed by society's cruelty, by family pressure, by Joseph's weakness. She sat by the window, tears streaming down her face, whispering to the empty air, "They stole my life. They stole my chance to be a mother, to be a wife, and no one will ever know the truth." Yet in her brokenness, a quiet strength began to rise. Olivia realized that while they had taken away her marriage, her dignity, and her peace, they could not take away her spirit. And as she gazed into the night, she whispered through her tears, "They stole my past, but they will never steal my future."